When you start learning about watches, the term field watches comes up quite early on, or at least it did for me. And this is when you can immerse yourself in stories about military-issued equipment, trench warfare, and the general importance of a simple watch that is easy to tell the time on and minimum hassle to set and view. Have you watched any old war movies and heard the term "let's synchronize our watches, men"? My friends and I used to do this exact ceremony before we headed out for a boozy night on town. Mainly for a laugh, but it could also be quite handy to know that a 5 a.m. walk home would happen for all of us at the same time wherever we ended up. If you're looking for a field watch these days, I think it's difficult to just not get a Hamilton khaki and have that itch scratched for good. If you're extra cashed up, you might even go for the IWC Pilot Spitfire. But really, this is a category that has very specific criteria, and whilst they are beautiful in their simplicity, they are plain for a reason. Second Hour is a brand that at least I know to be highly individual in their design approaches. You may have seen the Mandala or Giant Stride before, and you can't really say they look like anything else on the market. Therefore, it's not surprising that their brand new field watch design that launches in February 2023 is not only attractive, but also takes the road less traveled to their watch design. It's all here: the Second Hour triangles, the new logo, some cool colors, and there's even a nice story behind the name. Perhaps the most astonishing fact is what 675 Australian dollars, which is about $460 US, can buy you here. If you're thinking about sourcing a field watch that's in no shape or form boring, then join me for a closer look at the Second Hour Sattelberg. If this is the first time you've come across my channel, thank you for being here. I cover everything from fancy pricey watches to our favorite micro brands, and it would be super appreciated if you liked and subscribed. Thanks in advance, you legendary human. I had two of the colorways here today, the Service Blues and also the DLC Black with a full lume dial called the Beacon. I've decided to mainly cover the blue, but I will share the lume shots from both, which is really what you want to see anyway from that black model with its full lume dial. I've met Peter and Akira behind Second Hour a couple of times, and what comes across immediately is the meticulous approach to design. Their vision is strong, and to work with this team is to get used to a no-compromises approach. In all their models, there are few to none off-the-shelf parts. My 1 hour interview with Peter is a good watch if you're interested in their approach. But let's chat sizes first. It is 40mm diameter, lug to lug is 47mm, is 10mm thick, and lug width is 20mm. It's also 100 meters water resistant, and it offers a hardening treatment of its 316L stainless steel material that takes it all the way up to 1200 Vickers. This dial has a fair bit going on for a field watch, and probably my only bit of feedback is that the logo is perhaps just a tad big. But there's no model or brand name print, which I love. The vertical brush on this blue dial is attractive and will go from blue to black depending on the angle all day long. And a nice extra touch is the color match date wheel. True to its heritage, there is an inner ring with 24-hour time, and I think you can even argue that the crosshair lines fits within the military inspiration. All the print is absolutely perfect, no matter how close you get. The triangular indices, in every sense of the word, are all applied, as are the lume digits at 2, 4, 6, 8 and 10, which all look very impressive on the macro. And really, the only fault I could find is the 12 triangle being slightly misaligned on its back orange triangle. But you never see that with the naked eye. The diamond cut hands are equally impressive, with no rough edges and an attractive bezel that will catch light on both the metal and black hands of the white dial. The second's hand is highly visible with its triangle and syringe tip that reaches almost all the way to the edge. As with all second hour watches, there's an Easter egg triangle amongst the minute track too, with an extra little triangle pattern on the dial. All in all, it's just as good in person as it is on the pictures that you may or may not have seen. What I find more impressive than anything else is that there is so much going on here, so many small bits and pieces that somehow all work together to create one cohesive design. Is it as legible as a basic field watch? No. But is it fun? Yes. What do you think? Do you agree with me? Let me know in the comments. The case is brushed with some polished edges here and there. This angled bezel appears to rest on a mid-case that's further enhanced by all the soft edges and smooth lugs that have been angled downwards to keep the watch compact enough to fit any wrist. It's not often I come across a case with absolutely no sharp edges anywhere, often at many times the price of this one. And at this price point, this is quite an achievement. The screw-down crown has no crown guards and is large enough to manipulate the crown, leading to the Miyota 9015 movement with no problems at all. The back of these watches that are prototypes has some etching mistakes which I've been asked not to show, but on the back of all the models is latitude and longitude of the military campaign in New Guinea where Australian troops played a crucial role. My one minor complaint, which is not really a complaint as such, is the Miyota movement. It is quite noisy and you can definitely hear it spin up if you make any sudden moves. I'm of the school of thought that feeling and hearing a mechanical movement is a nice reminder of what's on your wrist, and I have no issue with it. But particularly the black one makes the rotor spinning quite obvious to you and others around you. So if that bothers you genuinely, you should know this. The Miyota is a common choice for microbrands since the cold hard facts are that they are simply more reliable than many of their Swiss counterparts, as many microbrand owners mentioned in my interviews. These fabric straps are all custom made in colors to match the model you buy. The buckles are signed, and whilst they're a little stiff, they should soften up and become comfortable over time. Quick release spring bars means they're easy to remove should you want to. One area I know second hour have worked really hard on is the Lume, and it's very good on both watches. Let's check them out. The Mandala was a huge hit for second hour, and whilst there have been great second and third albums, check out the Giant Stride for instance, it's always hard to follow up that first big hit of any artist or watch company. I think they're onto a real winner here. It's a fun and interesting field watch that is priced extremely well for what you're getting. In fact, I'm guessing they will have to sell quite a few to turn an acceptable profit here. And I think we can again make a huge difference to a small family-owned and run team based in the Southern Hemisphere, very far away from Switzerland. Should you buy one? I think at this price point, yes you should, perhaps even two. This is the perfect antidote to a boring grey Monday morning or rainy dog walk, and the knowledge that your investment keeps a family both afloat and inspired to bring more unique creations to us, the watch people, is great. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time.